Today I'm in Phoenix, Arizona at the Radford School of Racing, and I have the opportunity to drive something really cool, the Dodge Charger Daytona. And why this is cool is because this is an all-electric vehicle, and it is the first one from the Dodge brand. And we were driving it on a racetrack. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to do a little bit of a walk around and show you some of the features on this car. Then we're going to take it on a racetrack. We're going to do a little bit of drag strip driving, and yeah, I'm going to try to drift. And maybe we'll show in some professional driving footage as well, because they're going to do it way better than me. So let's take a closer look at this week's car du jour, the Dodge Charger Daytona. All right, we're just going to jump right into the walk around. And this right here is the Scat Pack model. So this has up to 670 horsepower and 241 miles of range. Now, if you're looking at the RT model, which is going to be a little bit detuned and a little bit decontented, you're looking at almost 500 horsepower, still a lot, and 308 miles of range. So you can have a lot of power and a lot of range, or you can have a little more power and less range. I don't know. I've now driven both of them, and yeah, I would go with the RT. It is really well contented for about $60,000. So looking at the front, you can see you have this little, it almost looks like a hood scoop, but what this does is it kind of comes down and flows through. So you've got air that helps with the downforce and the aerodynamics of the vehicle. And the air just flows really well over this hood to help with range and fuel economy. Well, not actually fuel economy, but MPGE, I guess. I don't know. At any rate, the other really cool thing about this, you know, it has a little bit of a mix in terms of design between the Charger and the Challenger, but it is neither, obviously. And one of the things they've done that I think is really cool back here, you press this right here, and yeah, you see that? That is actually a hatchback. It's a hidden hatch, they're calling it. And when you get one of the up-level packages, I think it's the $5,000 package, it includes the power button, which is right here, which is also really cool. You don't have to reach up to hit anything. And the other thing that's going to include is a very, very small frunk. So yes, this does in fact have a frunk. You have a little pull right here, tab, and you have to pull it twice. And then this lifts up, and there you go. I tried to fit in it, and by the way, it didn't work. My hips are too wide. So I don't know how big that is. I will get the spec and I will put it down below. But this is really a space that you would put your charging cord, or me, my runner's brain. I was like, oh yeah, after I'm done running in the rain or doing a really muddy, sloppy thing, I would put my running clothes in there, my dirty, icky things that I don't want in the car to smell things up. I'd put those in there. So it's very, very small front, but this also is an option. So this is not standard. And the hood goes down fairly easily. All right, let's just take a quick look inside. Now, this vehicle is going to be bigger, longer, wider than the ICE vehicles that it replaces. And okay, yeah, this is my driving position, no judging. But when you look back here, there is actually a lot of room for passenger space. So this right here is going to be for, in a far back position for somebody who's a taller passenger. I still have good foot room. I have probably about 4 or 5 inches between my knees and the back of this hard surface. Because this is an up-level vehicle with up-level things on it, you do also have heated seats back here. There's some USB chargers, and hallelujah, you have air vents. Another available feature is going to be this glass roof. So this is not standard, it is available. Yeah, and is it sad that I could climb back here without actually moving the seat? Probably. But if you needed to move the seat forward, you just pull this tab and then it moves the seat forward a little bit and then allows you to step out. And then it moves your seat back. Okay, so let's take a quick look at what's going on behind the wheel. So your start button is going to be here. And when you power it up, I don't know if you could hear that, but you got like a little rumble of thunder. And, you know, people are like, how do you feel about the fake sound? You know what? I feel pretty good about the fake sound. And for anybody who wants to say, it's awful, this feels pretty good. And one of the things that Dodge has done is they've actually, I don't know, they've instituted vibration or something so that the sound, you still feel it in the pedals. And when we were driving, I actually could put my hand on the side panel and you can feel the vibration of the sound. It feels like an engine. It's not an engine. It is not an engine, but it feels like an engine. So in addition to, you know, that startup screen that you saw, you do have a 12.3-inch screen here. You've got this full digital cluster right here, and there is an available head-up display. You do also have Uniconnect 5 going on here, so if you're familiar with that, it's the latest generation of the Stellantis infotainment system. I really like this setup. We played around with Apple CarPlay a little bit, and it fills out this screen really well. But when you are using Apple CarPlay, what I appreciated the most is the fact that this menu still stays in place, so you can switch back and forth between your vehicle settings, your Apple CarPlay, and like you'll get a little icon that takes the place of that phone button. But your Apple CarPlay, your native navigation, and anything that has to do with the vehicle. You have this comfort button here that will take you into, you know, really, you know, detailed climate controls, but you also have this right here. And this is really interesting because you get some haptic feedback and you don't have to touch it really hard for these to operate. And so you can use these without switching into the screen, and I like that because it's less distracting while you are driving. Now, another thing that I've noticed that they did in this vehicle is, so previously, if you wanted your heated seats or your climate, or if your heated seats or your heated steering wheel, so I wanted to switch it off, you had to hit this, and then this little screen would pop up, and I didn't really like that, especially while you were driving. But now you have these options right here to hit your heated steering wheel and your ventilated and heated seats from, you know, outside of those things. So still would take some getting used to. As you can see, I'm like hitting one thing and meaning to hit the other, and yeah, at any rate. So I do like that. And you have multiple ways to get into your climate controls, and so it doesn't all have to be through the screen, and I appreciate that. Now, looking at your behind the wheel gauges, you do have a little bit of configurability going on, and you can do that through hitting this home button right here, and you just kind of scroll through some of the options. So you can get your map back there, you have your more traditional gauges, and then you have what they call like a calm screen. So you know, you do have some options, and then if you switch it to you know, one of these other modes, well, I think probably this one, then you can scroll through what you are showing in your center stack area. So you can do driver assist info, your radio. So you do have some options, and I really appreciate that. I always get very irked in a vehicle that has this digital display and it just looks like a regular display. Why do you have a digital display if you're not able to do anything cool with it? So, IMHO. Now, something else that they have going on in this vehicle is ambient lighting. This is also going to be an up-level feature, so it's not going to be standard, but they are going to give you 64 different color options to be able to adjust to your mood. And somebody obviously put this on purple, but you can change it by going into your vehicle and controls, and then you hit this ambient lighting personalization, and you have a wheel that you can kind of scroll through and just kind of take it through the different options. You know what? We're gonna put it on blue for now. So you can put it on blue, and then as you can see, the blue changed here as well. So I don't know. I like ambient lighting. I like the fact that you can adjust it and you have more than just 7 colors. You can also make it brighter or dimmer. So if ambient lighting bothers you or it's too bright for you, you can take it a little bit dimmer so that you don't see it as much. And I also really appreciate that. Now, before we get into the driving portion of this video, I just want to kind of point out some of the really nice details on the Dodge Charger Daytona. So first off, you have this flat bottom steering wheel, and I really like that. All of your controls, like your cruise controls, your home screen controls, your audio controls, your drive mode controls, your power shot, all of that is right here. So as you are driving, it's really easy to press those things and access those things. You don't have any buttons or dials down here that you're trying to deal with. You have some really nice stitching on the wheel. You have nice stitching on the dash. And I have to say, one of my personal favorite things is this texture that you've got on the side panel of the door. It just looks really cool, especially when it's lit, but it feels really cool too. You also have some stitching on the door. You have these really attractive sports seats with some nice stitching. And then you've got the supportive and comfortable, at least they felt comfortable while I was sitting back there, seats in the second row. Now, before we take this out for a drive, there is one little thing that I want to point out and talk about that I don't like. And that is going to be, well, not the fact that I have to reach really far back, because that's going to happen, I'm sure. But it is actually the placement of the seatbelt. So when I put the seatbelt on, and there is no way to adjust this. So this is going to be a little bit of a problem. And my drive partner was taller than me. He's about 6 feet tall. And he also felt like it was kind of cutting into his neck a little bit. So yeah, even if you use this little magnety thing to kind of strap it into place, I think unless you're a lot taller than me, this is just not, it's gonna, yeah, it's just gonna. All right, let's drive. All right, so we are doing one warm-up lap, and then we do 2 laps, and then we will do a cool down. I want to say this handles really well. It's in track mode. You know, I'm not trying to push it to a 10/10 or even to 9/10. I just want to feel how it handles. And this corners really well. Anybody who wants to question, you know, that this is a muscle car needs to get over it. So I'm going to switch this up into sport mode. And you can tell the exhaust note changed, and the steering is a little less tight. You know, the car feels a little bit looser. It felt a lot tighter in track mode. But this isn't bad. You know, you're still going to have fun in sport mode. I know the RT model doesn't have track mode. You're still going to have fun here. And I mean, my max speed through this was like 70 miles an hour. So again, not pushing it a lot, but just wanted to get a sense of how the vehicle cornered and how it felt going around some of these corners. And now I'm going to do a little cool down lap here to cool off the brakes. Short course, but a really good course in terms of just getting a feel for the handling. First, I drove this on the street, and I have to say, this is just a really comfortable, competent vehicle. If you don't like the fake engine noise, you can turn it off. If you want tighter steering, go into sport mode. If you want more of a gasoline feel to the vehicle, put in an automatic mode. This is one of those vehicles that can be a lot of things to a lot of different people. And I really like that. This was fun on the racetrack.
It's in the launch control menu now. Okay. So now you can roll up and stage.
And then a little bit more to the...
Yep. It's right there. Okay. All right, now both. There you go. Mash her down hard and go when you're ready. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Go to race options.
Okay.
Hit that. Activate drift mode. And we're ready to go. So it looks like we got everything here. Release brake pedal means it is clear, we're ready to go.
Okay.
Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna drive straight. Go to the right of this first set of cones. That's why the cone is knocked down this way. It's saying go this way.
Okay.
Then you're gonna go over to the left.
Okay.
Off the accelerator turn, you're gonna get a little bit of looseness on the gas, off, and then you're gonna turn it and break it loose here and carry a drift all the way through here. And then you're gonna shut the drift down right by this cone with the hat on it.
Okay.
Slow it down and come straight.
Okay.
So I'll give it a demo and show you what it should look like.
AKA not what I'm actually gonna do.
You don't really have to go that fast. A lot of people are like, all right, so I floor it, right? You don't have to floor it.
Okay.
Just go nice and easy. Off, on, on. And then straighten it out. Just like that.
Okay. But yeah, you make that look easy. All right, let's see. I'm very bad at drifting.
Well, we'll see if we can help it. Off, accelerator, on.
Oh.
And then off, on. Gas it. All right, so brake. So you don't want to add a lot of steering and then try and get on the gas.
Okay.
Just add a little steering and break it back, break it loose with the back end.
Okay.
So once you add too much steering, it's hindering the back end from wanting to do anything except for wanting to go straight. So let's pull up on the line and try it again.
Okay. And is it through the cones?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, give it a shot again.
Okay. So, okay.
On the gas, off, on. Yeah, gas it. Nope, too much steering. So don't think of it like I have to turn the car with the steering wheel.
Okay.
I'm turning the car with the back end.
Okay.
That's what the hard part is. You're trying to change how you pivot the vehicle.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I can't get my head around. And I do some off-road driving, and they're like, steer with the gas pedal.
Yes. This is kind of the same thing.
It takes a while to get your head wrapped around that.
Yeah. Well, we'll give it another shot, and we'll see who else wants to get in.
Okay.
Go
perfect.
for it.
Okay.
On accelerator. Go. Off. Turn. Off. Oh, wait, brake. See, now you're getting a little too wide. See how you got, that steering input in. That steering input kind of hinders it.
Right. Can I do one more?
Let's do one more.
Okay. Okay, so when you say on the brake.
I never said on the brake, on accelerator.
On accelerator.
Yeah.
But off the accelerator, on the accelerator.
Uh-huh.
Now, how much steering input should I give it?
Well, for the first run, you're turning like about that much. And then the next one, you're turning that much. Okay. So you're not doing a lot of steering input.
Okay.
The more these wheels go like this, the harder it is to break the back end loose. If they're just a little bit, you get on the accelerator, it will pitch that back end back.
Okay.
That's what you're looking for.
Okay. Okay. So, all right.
A little faster, a little faster. Now just off accelerator, turn. Now turn the other way and on accelerator. Now, gas, gas, gas. There you go. You got it. You got it. Yes. That's what you got to do. Hit the brakes. So you actually initiate the drift.
Okay.
But now it's a matter of keeping that throttle from being too hard.
Okay. All right. Okay, that was fun. Like I said, I'm not very good at drifting.
It's okay.
It takes some time. All right, before I close out this review, I do want to get into some brief driving impressions. And when I posted some stuff on social as I was preparing to do this drive, I found there's a lot of hate for this electric Dodge Charger. And what I want to say is y'all got to get over it, because this is probably, for me, the closest experience that I've had to driving a gasoline vehicle in an electric vehicle. There's a very visceral feel to driving this vehicle, from the sound to the vibration that you feel in the pedal, from the sound to the pistol grip gear shift. This just feels normal. I don't know if that's how I want to say it, but this doesn't feel like an electric vehicle. And overall, I was really impressed. As you saw, we were able to do racetrack driving. We were able to do some drag strip fun stuff. And we also had the opportunity to try and drift a little bit. And then we took it on road. So you can go from the track to all of the fun things back, on the road again. And this is a very comfortable, competent vehicle. We spent most of our time on road in the RT version. We're now in the Scat Pack version. And I don't feel any loss by being in a 496 horsepower vehicle. 496 horsepower, come on. That is not a loss. That's amazing. Because this is built on a skateboard platform, you do have a really nice balance in terms of weight distribution. So all in all, this is a comfortable vehicle. It's a fun vehicle. It is an attractive vehicle. And, I pointed out that this can be a little bit bothersome. It can kind of cut into your neck. And I also discovered through my partner that putting the rear seats flat, if you need to load anything into the vehicle, is also a little bit awkward, unless you're my size, and then you can crawl back there and get those down very easily. But overall, this is a very functional, usable vehicle. And if you go for the RT version with 308 miles of range, why wouldn't you do that? Now, I will say the base price of $60,000 is a little bit optimistic. You're probably going to want at least one package on there for some of the power things and the ambient lighting. But overall, $65,000 for a really cool electric vehicle doesn't suck. So, what do I want to say to sum this up and stop rambling? I like it. I like the Dodge Charger Daytona. And I think if you are a naysayer, you just have to give it a try. Yeah, that's what I want to say about that. So, thanks for taking this quick first look at the Dodge Charger Daytona with me. And I will see you next time with a new Car du Jour.